Hey everyone, Roman Prokopchuk here, first generation immigrant from Ukraine, agency founder, podcaster, believer, and foster dad. Came over when I was 5 with 6 other family members through Vienna, Austria, then Rome, Italy, and then finally to the US to a 2 bedroom apartment. So giving my perspective, quick updates while having 3 family members in the Ukrainian military, family all over the country in Lviv, around Lviv, Odessa, Lutsk, around Kyiv, having family members part of the defense of Kyiv when the war started. So just kind of want to give my perspective on what's actually going on the ground. Obviously having fighting in the east. Severodonetsk is heavily controlled by Russian forces. There's been a pullout from Ukrainian forces to pull back to Lysychans'k. Lysychansk is being bombarded through aviation in terms of airstrikes as well as artillery for Russia to get the foothold and that kind of holding out stronghold of Ukrainians in that area. So hopefully the reinforced and new weapons coming in from the west does significantly help being moved into the area. There's also situations where there was airstrikes today in Kyiv. So in and around Kyiv, there were missile strikes. Lviv, which if you don't know, is on the western part of the Ukraine, basically close to the Polish border. In the Lviv region, there's been attacks in terms of airstrikes as well. Basically, Russians are trying to disrupt supply lines. A lot of that Western aid is coming into Western Ukraine and then being dispersed and, moved to the south, the southeast, the east of the country in terms of reinforcing and resupplying the front lines. So watch out for that. There was actually a lot of missile strikes in terms of all over the country today, and a lot of, sadly, strikes targeting or landing in civilian areas. Obviously, Russia, quote unquote, says they're not targeting civilians, but blatantly throughout this war, it's been documented and evident that civilian targets have been targeted through dummy munitions, if you will, not guided, and guided munitions as well. So I don't know how you're going to tell me that a guided missile and several of them over time of this conflict in Ukraine hit civilian targets when it's supposed to be guided to a specific target. That's just kind of my opinion, what I'm giving on it, my 2 cents. But heavy fighting, obviously, in the east, the Severodonetsk, Lysychansk area is very hot right now, as well as random or not so random strikes all over the country, the capital of Kyiv, and other areas as well. So stay tuned for more in-depth analysis and documentation and updates from the conflict and my opinions on it. Thanks for listening.